Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, where in the last episode we started work on the island over here next to the industry. We expanded the industry a little bit, we added our power plant last episode, and we also started work on more district. We need more residential next to these industry areas for people that work in these industry areas to live in and to work in, not to work in, to shop in, to live in, to play sports in, stuff like that. So today we are going to continue what is until now has been called More District, but what will hopefully be called something else within the next couple of episodes. But yeah, we're going to fill out the rest of this little island, do some detailing. I think the way it's starting to look right now is actually pretty nice. This library over here, Creators Library, it looks pretty cool. I know it's the Colossal Order logo, but yeah, I think it is a pretty cool shape for a building. We are definitely going to be using this one a little bit more in other parts of the city as well. And I think what we can do on this side is we can make maybe a little bit of a pedestrian area, a shopping district. Maybe, let's see, do we have any unique buildings that could fit in here nicely? I don't want to build too high, but we can use a couple of these landmark buildings in here. Add a little bit of a pedestrian zone. The Sunken Plaza shopping mall looks pretty cool to me, so yeah, definitely going to do that. And then for the rest of the island, as I said, we're going to be using most of these Brooklyn and Queens buildings that came with one of the creator packs. Excellent. So yeah, that is the plan for today. Obviously, this isn't going to take the entire episode. I'm not quite sure what the next item on the agenda is. I have been wanting to start the main city for a while now, but we keep getting sidetracked with things like the airport, financial district, entertainment district, university, stuff like that. So we'll see how far we'll get today. Maybe we can continue this little island over here. That would be a nice continuation of it. We only have the one bridge so far, but maybe we can add a second, or maybe even a pedestrian bridge. Add a little train station over here. That would be cool. Maybe we could even continue working on Marley Beach. And since we have been using the Brooklyn and Queens type of buildings, maybe we can continue that trend into here as well on this side of Marley Beach. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll do some building, we'll do some detailing. Let's get started. island city is done, and I must say it does look really, really nice. I'm very happy with the result of this little project, even though I didn't plan on doing this. I think it came out really, really nice looking. So we filled in the rest of the island mainly with medium density buildings. These buildings from the Brooklyn and Queens pack, and a couple of these modern Dutch apartment buildings, which look really nice in my opinion as well. And I think they fit in really nicely with these Brooklyn and Queens style apartment buildings, and it's all nice and medium density. There are no very tall buildings over here. In fact, this monument over here in the park that I put down is the tallest structure on the entire island, so that is cool. So obviously we added a lot of services. We added a bank, a post office, we have lots of sports fields, we have baseball, we have cricket, we have football, lots of parks as well. I added a little pedestrian area here, which mainly has some shopping, wall-to-wall shopping buildings, and of course a sunken shopping mall. So this has put down the need for commercial zoning by quite a bit, and I think the residential zoning has gone down a little bit as well. Now, before we go adding any more industry or offices, I think we should continue on the same vein as we did over here in Moore District. We added about 7,000 residents, a couple of shops. We didn't do any offices or any industry on this island, and I think that is what this map needs at the moment. I can't zoom out any further again for whatever reason, but yeah, I think what we need is more residential. We just need like 10, maybe 20,000 more people. And in order to do so, I think we're going to do two things. We're going to continue Marley Beach along the shoreline over here, and we are going to start on this side of the river, on this side of the bridge as well, continuing what we did over here in Moore District. And we are going to do a little bit more of the same, but a little bit different, where on this island I only used those Brooklyn and Queens buildings and some Dutch apartments. I think we're going to mix it up a little bit over here. We're going to use those buildings as well, but we're also going to use some of the eco high density buildings, and a little bit further inland a little bit of the eco low density residential buildings, and of course some more commercial zones as well. I already did some work for the infrastructure. I removed the level crossing that we had here and lowered the train line a little bit, put the road a little bit higher, so that we don't have a level crossing anymore here, which would only cause traffic issues. Obviously, we're going to need a train station over here. Going to be a small train station with a pass through, and then over here I think we're going to start with higher density than we had on the island on this side of the river, with some high density eco buildings over here, and then the further we go inland, the lower it gets with medium density, and then at the end low density. And the same goes for over here. I think Marley Beach is going to continue along the shoreline with some medium density, high density. I really like these medium density buildings, so I think mostly it's going to be medium density. I know we don't really have medium density in the zoning, we only have high density and low density, but in City Skylines 2 we are going to have medium density and even mixed zoning, so that is cool to have. Mixed zoning being in the game as a base feature is going to be pretty awesome, especially since now when we want to do mixed zoning, you need two buildings in the same spot, so you need anarchy and move it, stuff like that. And there's too much noise complaints from commercial buildings, so yeah, it is possible with some mods. So we have used it in the past, not really ideal, so yeah, really looking forward to that feature in City Skylines 2. Yeah, but for now I think we're going to continue just some medium density, some zoning work, some detailing, just expanding our population today. I think I want to get at least above 40,000 today, preferably, I'm not sure if that's plausible, but get to 50,000 today as well. Still lots to do. I think this little area is turning out pretty cool, pretty how do you say, pretty populated, pretty highly populated. I think what we need to do is we need to add some more city over here as well, and over here. Maybe even let it continue into the void, so to speak, as a sort of facade to make it look like there's an entire big city behind it. So yeah, I think this little part of the map, this corner, I can't zoom out any further at the moment, so I'm not sure what that is, but maybe if I can go into cinematic cam. Yeah, so if we have this little corner of the map, I think it would be cool if we have Marley Beach over here, this little island over here, then this part over here filled in, and then maybe even parts over here filled in, and then the industry continuing its way on this side of the rail all the way to the edge of the map as well. I think that would be a cool looking, yeah, maybe not high density, but highly populated zone. And then when we take a look at the rest of the main island, we have, of course, Manta Ray Bay over here. We have our university area over here with the farmlands. Still think this middle part here needs to be filled in. This can't be empty. So this will probably be low density residential at some point. There's a little bit of a traffic jam forming over here, but that's all right. And then of course we come to the big city part. We have the financial district over here, and this is where the main city is going to be. We still haven't started that yet. That's going to be the biggest project on this map for sure. And then we have the entertainment district, which is pretty much done, especially now that the beaches are populated. And of course we have the airport over here to the side of the map as well. And we still have plenty of land left that can be developed, but that is all future episodes. For now, we are going to continue over here on this little island. I already gave it a district, and the district already gave us a name, and the name is Sycamore Square. If you have a naming suggestion for this or for any of the other districts, please let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll stick your name on these little zoning districts, these little separate cities and villages on the map. But for now, yeah, let's go start building Sycamore Square. All right, and here we are back in the game. As you can see, we did quite a lot of work. We started over here on this island, or not island. Well, actually, it is an island, I guess. But this part we started over here was a little bit tricky getting the road down onto the ground from this bridge. But we managed, and we started out by adding a little train station over here. We already added the stops to this station so that the stop train that goes from Manta Ray Bay all the way to the industry area also stops over here. And then we just added a couple of, I would say, medium to higher density buildings, these ones being the biggest on this part of the map. So yeah, starting to be a nice, cool little neighborhood. But then I decided, you know what, I really want to continue Marley Beach along the shoreline over here. So I switched over to this side of the map, to this side of the river, and we started by building this cool little extension to Marley Beach. And I must say, I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. We have sort of a plaza area over here that is built onto the water so people can enjoy the nice fresh air coming from the river. We don't have a whole lot of residential actually in this area. We have these 3 towers over here, a couple of towers over here. This one is a hospital. And I decided to add another soccer stadium over here, another football stadium. This one is from the workshop. It actually isn't an actual... Okay, hello. It isn't an actual football stadium, it's just a tourist attraction, but it looks cool. I think it's modeled after a real one, I don't know. But yeah, looks pretty cool right here in the center. Then on the side of this, we have a city park. Now over here, I wanted a little bit of green space next to the football stadium for people to, you know, hang out in the park on match days when it's hot outside, having a beer, having something to drink. Just relaxing in the park. And then over here on this side we'll have some more of these higher towers along the back, and then the rest of this part is going to be filled in, I think, with low density eco buildings, just like the rest of Marley Beach. And then on this side I want to do a little bit of a shopping center over here, maybe some hotels, some nightlife districts, maybe some actual hotels actually. Hotels are in the parks. Yeah, here they are. So let's see, what do we have that could... Ooh, we have a deluxe hotel. It needs scenery, it needs shopping, and it needs... I don't know what the blue one is, but ooh. Oh wow, that is very, very big. I don't think that fits in Marley Beach. Although I do like it, we'll definitely use it, but not over here, I think. Then we have the Heritage Hotel. This could be a cool little extension of the theme park, you know. Would it fit over here? No, not really. I wanted to add a little bit more parking over here, but we can switch that around a little bit. Why don't we... I think it needs its own road. So why don't we pick this road over here and add a little bit like this. And then back to the hotel. Yeah, and we can add parking behind the hotel. Wow, that looks cool. That actually looks like it's part of the theme park that we built here. Excellent. So what does it need? Oh, autosave. What does it need? It needs sightseeing locations. Well, we've met that pretty decently. It needs shopping. Well, there will be shopping around here, so that's not an issue. It needs business locations. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that. And it needs nature, which it has plenty of, actually. So, let's see. A little bit of water. Very nice, very nice. And then we'll add a little bit of parking to the back over here, which can also double down as parking for the theme park. So yeah, excellent. And yeah, as you can see, obviously we built a theme park around the edge over here. We have a whole lot of parking here, but I don't know if this is functional parking or these are just visible parking, but this just looks like parking areas. It's not like the parking lot roads over here. But yeah, I think this area is starting to look very, very nice indeed. We will, as I said, add a little bit of shopping over here, fill in the rest of these areas with some low density or medium density residential. We didn't get quite up to 40,000. We're almost there, 39.7. But then again, we didn't build a whole lot of residential, as I said, on this part. I mainly wanted this to look nice, to be you know, a little entertainment corner on this side of the map. We obviously have Florence Square, which is the entertainment district close to the city. But we have, you know, a nice cool little theme park, a nice city park, a nice football stadium. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a entertainment corner on this side. Excellent. So to sum up, we finished this island over here. We started building over here and we continued Marley Beach. Not a whole lot of big projects this episode, but you know, not every episode can be a big project. For now, I mainly want to focus a little bit on growing our population. I want to reach 50,000 in the next couple of episodes so that this industry area has enough workers to function properly, and so that we can get the demand a little bit better balanced, because we have a whole lot of industry dotted around the map, way too much for the amount of residents that we have, probably. So we have 12,000 workers and 26,000 jobs. So yeah, we need a whole lot more people. We need at least another 12,000 people. So as I said, we need to get up to 50,000 in population at the very least. Probably 60,000 would be better. And once we have done that, then the residential and shopping demands should balance out a little bit more. And probably our weekly income will be a little bit more realistic than right now. We're losing about 250,000 a week. Maybe we can get down to 1 million a week. Who knows? If we plop down enough unique buildings. But yeah, for now I just want to grow the city a little bit, grow the population, and try to get these demand meters a little bit more balanced. So that being said, we know then what we are going to do next episode. Next episode we're going to continue over here in Marley Beach, continue over here Sycamore Square. Probably in the next couple of episodes we're going to start on the main city, because that will be a whole that will be a lot of residential, so that will be a lot of people. But yeah, that is for the next episode. For now though, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.